Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown 205 Live Mixed Match Challenge results. Also, NXT tapings. Spoilers. Happy birthday goes to Mr. Kennedy. He was born March the 6th. Take it back. Never mind. It was March the 6th. Okay. February the 8th birthday is Big Show. He was born 1972. Classy Freddie Blassie, born 1918. Jim the Animal Neidhart, born 1956. And Sensational Sherry, born 1958. Let's see. February. There wasn't any birthdays on February 7th. Okay. WWE has confirmed that Jason Jordan has underwent surgery earlier in the day under Dr. Joseph Maroon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No word yet on when he will be back in the ring, but keep you posted. More updates on Jason Jordan. Underwent surgery this morning to repair a neck injury, as WWE.com can confirm. He had an injury to a disc in his neck, which resulted in a significant pain that was refractory to all conservative measures. As WWE medical doctor Joseph Maroon said, it was decided to do a minimally invasive operation to decompress the nerve to allow it to heal. The procedure Jordan underwent is called a minimally invasive posterior cervical microdiscectomy. Not known just how long Jordan will be out of action, but stay with WWE.com for more updates, as I'll give you the news as it comes every week. On Raw last week, WWE shot an angle that seemed to write Kane, aka Glenn Jacobs, off TV for the near future. Jacob was destroyed by Braun Strowman in their last man standing match, which ended with Strowman dumping the announcer's desk on top of Kane. So in fact, it was the whole platform. WWE issued a storyline update stating that Jacobs was rushed to a local hospital, but he sat up on the examining table and crawled his way out of the medical facility before he could be evaluated. It's not clear if Jacobs is injured or is taking time off to campaign, but WWE has removed him from all live events through the end of the month, starting this weekend. He actually is featured on the event listing on WWE.com for tonight from Raw. He was advertised for TV and live events in March. He is still scheduled to face Universal Champion Brock Lesnar at upcoming Raw live event on Saturday, March 3rd at the United Center in Chicago. A reporter named Mark noted that last week Undertaker will be appearing at a big campaign event for Jacobs as he continues his bid to become mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. The event will take place on Thursday, March 1st at 6:30 p.m. in Knoxville, Tennessee from the Rothschild Catering and Conference Center. Chris Jericho will also be hosting a special edition of Talk is Jericho podcast in Knoxville at the end of next week. And you can check out details about the event here at this link. Of course, it's Instagram, Chris Jericho Fozzy. Busted Open Radio featuring WWE star The Big Show earlier in the day can be found at this link. You can find highlights from the interview on his hip surgery and complications from the procedure. I've been really quiet with what's going on with me. I've had a hip resurfacing surgery in September. The surgery went really well. I got home after 3.5 weeks and I was walking a mile. Things started to feel good. Then I got a fever. I found out that I had a surgical infection. The more I find out about these medical implants, it's quite high to get an infection. I just got the unlucky draw. The hospital I had it done in New York is one of the top in the world for the least amount of surgical infections. They had to open me up again and take it out, clean it, flush it, etc. If the infection had got any worse, they would have had to cut the metal pieces out, put in what they call a cement joint for 3 months, and then do a full on hip replacement, which would have ended my career. Instead, we got a very aggressive cleaning down here in Florida. I got a thing called a pic line, which is basically an IV line from my left arm to my heart. For 7 weeks, I was walking around with an IV bag 3 times a day, total 8 hours a day. It was almost like having a small baby in the house because you only got 3 or 4 hours of sleep before you had to change the medicine. It was very stressful because I couldn't go to the gym or do anything. I couldn't get my blood pressure up. I couldn't do anything physical. It was pretty difficult. We finally pulled the pic line out on January 2nd. Things right now are touch and go for another 6 to 8 months. The more I learned about infections, the more I learned that they are very aggressive and adapt to certain medicines. The main thing we tried to do was to keep the infection off the metal plate. Once bacteria gets on that metal plate, you can't get it off. We've done everything we could. I dropped 27 pounds since January 2nd, and I'm back in the gym feeling right. On what he still has left to give the business, there's always something to do in our business. I have a lot to contribute. For the younger talent, simple things like in and out of the ring etiquette, treating yourself like a brand. These kids are amazing with social media, but there's a certain way to carry yourself as a star. Being a WWE superstar is about giving, and I think that there's a few guys who get that. A lot of times talent gets wrapped up in the me instead of the we. There is no I in team. WWE is a team. Out of the billions of people on this planet, the 75 to 80 men and women on the roster have the opportunity to call themselves WWE superstars. That's a very small percentage of people. They are in a position to be thankful that they have the opportunity to be a WWE star. Thankful to be working with people who you've grown up to idolize. Little things like that are what I still feel like I have to contribute. Also, I'm still having fun. It would be different if I wasn't having fun anymore. I've done everything the Big Show can do personally aside from going out to have fun. I'm not under any pressure other than go out and have fun. For me, this is the best time of my career. I can go out and interact with my fans. When are the next WWE Performance Center tryouts? This week. PW Insider is reporting that the next Performance Center tryouts will begin Thursday. These tryouts usually take a few days and will likely go through the weekend. Best of luck to everyone trying out. It was reported earlier this week by Planeta Wrestling that WWE would be hosting a Latin America tournament later this summer with talent from Mexico, Argentina, Peru, Chile, Brazil, and other countries. It was noted that the tapings would be held in Chile by the end of August, but that it would be similar to the Mae Young Classic, as there would be no champion crown. William Regal took to Twitter and denied the tournament reports. The original report noted that Regal would be producing the tournament. It should be noted that Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestler Observer Radio that the original reports were true. Regal wrote the following on Twitter to deny that. At Real King Regal, I usually use this account for entertainment purposes only. This is official though. The WWE has no Latin American tournament booked at this time, despite the news that is being reported. The Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE was looking to hold more international tournaments and had plans to crown the first WWE Asian champion and the first Latin American champion. It appeared that those plans were off. However, Planeta Wrestling is reporting that WWE will be hosting a Latin America tournament this summer featuring wrestlers from Chile, Peru, Argentina, Mexico, Brazil, and other countries. The report stated that the tapings will be held in Chile by the end of August, and that there will not be a champion crown, so it will be similar to the Mae Young Classic. William Regal will be producing the tournament. It may not be official, from WWE. All the talk of how effectively point at the WrestleMania sign, Becky Lynch took to Twitter to show how it's done. And you can see a picture of that. And Becky Lynch says, this is how you point. Well, TMZ has a story about rap superstar Jay-Z applying to trademark the diamond hand signal for a variety of entertainment services in either music, video, TV, or film. The story added that DDP had sued the rapper in 2005, which was settled out of court, and wrote that it doesn't look like DDP ever trademarked it for himself. DDP then corrected TMZ and showed the trademark application for the hand gesture, as you can see in the picture. The Rock appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon after the Super Bowl to premiere the trailer of his upcoming movie, Skyscraper, and to announce that he will produce and host a new reality show called Titan Games, competition series that will air on NBC. Several readers contacted and stated that WWE appeared to be teasing The Rock's returning to WWE, as they wrote the following on Facebook, which was also removed. It appears that to be an error, and the person who posted it either forgot to finish the post or included a video because they had tweeted about the same message, but it included, and he adds, hashtag skyscraper, and at NBC Titan Games. At WWE, just when you thought at The Rock's calendar couldn't be more packed, he adds, hashtag skyscraper and NBC Titan Games. You can also see it at this link here. As well as other TV competition reality show, another TV competition reality show at this link. Titan Games reality competition series that will air on NBC. The new series is being produced by A. Smith and Company, the group behind American Ninja Warrior, and Rock 7 Bucks Production Company. Rock will executive produce the show and will also appear as a host. First season will air 10 episodes. Speaking of NFL Super Bowl 52 from this past Sunday, Vince McMahon's XFL took to Twitter and trolled the league on their biggest night of the season. The XFL is set to relaunch in 2020. You can see their tweets from this link here. At XFL 2020 in the XFL, a catch is a catch. Hashtag XFL 2020. Again, less stall, more ball. And their last tweet, simple rules. Hashtag XFL 2020. There's a video with Kero Tozawa revealing that he will face UK superstar Mark Andrews, formerly of TNA Mandrews, on next Tuesday's 205 Live in another first round match in WWE Cruiserweight title tournament. 16-man tournament kicked off last week with TJP defeating Tyler Bate and Cedric Alexander defeating Grand Metalik. Tonight's show will feature Hideo Itami versus Roger Strong and Kalisto versus Lex Dorado. The finals for the vacant Cruiserweight title will take place at WrestleMania 34. And here's Tozawa's video as he posted on next week's match. The movie Mohawk with WWE superstar Luke Harper will hit select theaters, video on demand, and HD digital on March the 2nd of this year. Harper, billed under his real name, Jonathan Huber, stars as Lachlan Alsop in his big screen debut. The action horror thriller from Dark Sky Films had a successful festival run last year. The limited theatrical release includes the following theaters: Nighthawk Cinema in Brooklyn, I hope I pronounced that, Lamel Music Hall in Los Angeles, the Palace Theater in Syracuse, Alamo Drafthouse in Omaha, Capitol Theater in Cleveland, Charlotte Film Society in Charlotte, Philomoka in Philadelphia, Gateway in Columbus, Coolidge Corner in Boston. The synopsis reads like this. After one of her tribe sets an American camp ablaze, a young Mohawk warrior finds herself pursued by a contingent of military renegades set on revenge. Fleeing deep into the woods they call home, Oak and Calvin, along with their British companion Joshua, must now fight back against the bloodthirsty Colonel Holt and his soldiers, using every resource, both real and supernatural, that the winding forest can offer. Harper's first appears 12 seconds in this trailer. WYMT in Kentucky reports that Kane visited a man suffering from brain cancer in Harlan County over the weekend. TJ Brewer is one of Kane's biggest fans and has been diagnosed with cancer 5 times over the past 12 years. Doctors have given him only a few days to live, but he's continued to show strength. WYMT has video of the visit at this link. Believe it for yourself. Seeing is believing. When I told him that Kane was coming to chokeslam him, that he had to get up out of the hospital bed, he looked at me and said, "No, I will chokeslam him," said Silas Whitehead, TJ's uncle. Well, Triple H lets these fans rush the ring. And they're none other than Boy Scouts. To watch the video to find out more. Be a Star on their shirts. Last week, a change was made to the Raw announce team with Jonathan Coachman coming in and replacing Hall of Famer Booker T as being moved out. Booker would remain with the company to work kickoff panels as well as making occasional Raw appearances and serving as WWE ambassador. On his podcast, heated conversations between Booker. He spoke about why he was moved off the team and blamed Corey Graves and jabs that have been thrown by both announcers. If I got Corey Graves into a fisticuffs, I would beat him down like he stole something, Booker said. I'll be whooping his butt all day long. I'm keeping it PG for that, but he said the A word. My thing is this. I'm a nice guy until you get on my bad side. Corey Graves, I wouldn't necessarily say he's on my bad side right now, but he's the reason why I'm not on Monday Night Raw right now. Lots of people in the company thought I was going to jump him. I was going to do something bad to him. I was going to drag him. I was going to take him out to the woodshed and going to beat that man so bad that he was going to say, please, just don't beat me anymore. That's how hot I was getting. That's how close I was getting. According to Booker, WWE wanted to cool off and did that by moving him back to the kickoff panels and away from Graves. So they said, "Hey, Book, step back a second. All right, we're going to regroup. Press the rewind button. We're going to send you back to the kickoff show, SmackDown, and Monday Night Raw pay-per-views and cool you down a second because we don't want you to do anything to Corey Graves." Well, if that's what WWE said, well, Corey Graves is also on SmackDown. Get it right, people. Booker continued that if he catches Graves out and about, away from a WWE ring, he's going to do something to the Raw announcer. If I catch Corey Graves on the street, I'm going to do something to him, Booker said. I ain't going to do it at the office or at the airport, but if I catch Corey on the street, you see that little bouffant hairdo he got? I'm going to rearrange it for him. Wrapping up, Booker said that he didn't like his money being messed with and outright challenged Graves to a fight. Everybody knows my reputation. I get mean if you mess with my green, Booker responded. And right now, my green is being messed with. Is WrestleMania coming up? Right. There's room for one more match at WrestleMania. Right now on my show, I'm calling Corey Graves out to a fight. Not a match, not a pre-show pose down or anything like that. I'm calling Corey Graves out for a fight. I'm talking man to man, mano a mano, you and I. That concluded his thing. Back to the WWE Performance Center tryouts. DevelopmentalCentral.com has complied following a list of names for the tryouts. Rob Risen, showing you a picture of that, describe you how he got into it. Rob, being 31 years old, is an independent wrestler from Colorado, now lives in Orlando, Florida, who is no stranger to NXT, having worked as an enhancement talent 6 times, usually in tag matches, but most recently losing to Drew McIntyre in a singles match on an NXT taping back in 2017. He also appeared on Impact Wrestling's Open Fight Night 2017, where he lost to Drew McIntyre in a match for the Impact Grand Championship. Next up, we got Laszlo Arpad. Show you a picture of him. Arpad is a 30-year-old 6'5" wrestler from Budapest, Hungary, who debuted in 2009 and currently trains at CZW Dojo in New Jersey. He held the HCW Championship in Hungary for 329 days and was the second person to ever hold the title. He currently holds the Legacy Wrestling Tag Team Championships with Kevin Murphy. Where are all these names coming from? There you go. Evan Markopoulos. Show you a picture of him. Evan, being 23 years old from Hudson, Massachusetts, wrestles on the independent circuit, mainly in the Northeast part of the United States. He was trained at Chaotic Wrestling, the same school that trained Sasha Banks and NXT superstar Oney Lorcan. His most notable career achievement, of course, I'm showing you the picture as well. His most career achievement came when he was just 18 years old, when he was given an opportunity by Impact Wrestling to be a contestant on Gut Check in a match against Douglas Williams on the September 20th, 2012 episode of Impact Wrestling, making him the youngest person to ever appear on Impact TV. Next up, we got Jackson Stone. Show you a picture of him. Jackson is an independent wrestler from Philadelphia. Under the tutelage of Stephen Kirby, Christopher Hayden, and Frankie Fisher, Jackson would go on to become the fastest graduate in the history of the MPX program. Upon graduation, Stone made his pro debut in Battle Royal for VIP Wrestling on September 4th, 2015. The very next day, Stone made a singles debut at MPX show in Bedford, Texas against Randy Wayne. The beginning of 2017 started with big opportunities. In January 2017, Stone attended Ring of Honor tryout. In March, Stone attended the WWN tryout seminar. Stone made a very good first impression in front of the Ring of Honor and WWN officials. In April 2017, Stone left for his 3-month tour of Europe with WXW. Since coming back, he continued to make waves on the independent circuit. Juan Adams, show you a picture of him. Tell you a little about him. Adams, being 26 years old from Houston, Texas, is known as the Kraken and is an MMA fighter who has a record of 3 wins and 0 losses in his career thus far with MMA highlights. Well, that's better. The highlights can be found in this thing. Well, that's better than, I should say, CM Punk. Todd Cleaver, show you a picture of him. Cleaver, being 35 years old, played rugby at Santa Teresa High School in San Jose, California, before attending the University of Nevada in Reno, where he was also a 3-time collegiate All-American. Cleaver was the 4th youngest capped Eagle at the age of 20 when he made his debut against Argentina in 2003. That same year, Cleaver made his first trip to the Rugby World Cup as a member of the Eagles. 4 years and 15 caps later, he was selected to the USA's 2007 Rugby World Cup squad, and this time was a full-time starter. 2008, Cleaver captained the United States to Churchill Cup Bowl win over Georgia and then clinched a 2011 Rugby World Cup berth by winning a home and away series against Uruguay. He would then captain the men's Eagles in the 2011 Rugby World Cup, to broke the record for the most international test appearances by an American with his 68th cap against Russia in the summer of 2016. Maverick, not Drake Maverick. Show you a picture of him. He used to wrestle under the name of Moonshine Mantell as an independent wrestler based out of Fort Worth, Texas. 6'1" wrestler, was trained by Rude Boy Gonzalez, the father of NXT's Reina Gonzalez, and is most known for his work in NWL in Kansas City, Missouri, where he held the NWL Spirit Championship for 154 days. He was not only the second superstar to hold the title, but also the longest reign. Jarek, I hope I pronounced that, Jarek. Show you a picture of him. Jarek is pro wrestling's first magician and was trained by WWE 205 Live star, the Brian Kendrick. He has wrestled for promotions such as Beyond Wrestling, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, FIP, and Evolve, to name a few. He was used as an enhancement talent back in 2016 when he faced Braun Strowman on an episode of Monday Night Raw. Next up, we got Dominic Belanger. Show you a picture of him. Belanger, being 27 years old, 6'1" wrestler out of Varennes, Quebec, Canada, who trains under Drew Onyx at the Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling Dojo in Quebec, Canada. He made his in-ring debut in September 2015. He won the Monterrey Wrestling Federation Cup Valleyfield Tournament in 2016. Austin Theory. Show you a picture of him. Theory, being 20 years old, from Georgia, made his in-ring debut on May 5th, 2016, edition of WWA 4, where he won his first title, defeating his trainer, AR Fox, to win the WWA 4 Heavyweight Championship. He has appeared for promotions such as VIP Wrestling, PWA, and AAW, to name a few. He currently holds the FIP Heavyweight Championship, which he defeated Fred Yehi to win. And female competitor, Maria Manic. Show you a picture of her. Manic, being 20 years old, who was one to watch in 2017. Is currently one half of the reigning WSU Tag Team Champions alongside her tag team partner, Penelope Ford. She regularly wrestles for CZW, where she currently is on a big winning streak at Dojo Wars, defeating all her competition, male or female. She is also a mainstay of Women's Wrestling Revolution in Rhode Island, where she had a feud with Davienne, and regular teams with Penelope Ford to form Blonde Ambition in the company. In 2016, she was one of the participants in the ECWA Super 8 Chick Fight Tournament, which can be seen at this link. The following video, this next link, only shows what Casey Cantanzero talking about her experience so far at the Performance Center. Shelton Benjamin on Twitter says, "Thank you at Budget LIT for your great service of putting my reputation, freedom, and quite possibly my life in jeopardy. I've unknowingly been driving your car around for the last 4 days with an effing loaded gun in the glove compartment." Yeah, it's a Ruger. I didn't get the picture, but I did see the picture. It was a Ruger. 2 world records attempts by 2 WWE superstars. Lana trying to break a can be found at this link. Lana trying to break a pencil bag Guinness Book World Record while doing Total Divas Media with Natalya in New York City last week. Natalya also tried to break a slime stretch Guinness World Record, but had no luck. Well, a fan on Twitter, asking Bubba Ray if he could choose who he wanted to induct him and his partner, Devon, by the name of at Derek Boucher, asked at Bully Ray 5150 if it was Bully comments back, if it was totally up to me, I would want something completely different. I would have every fan who was in ECW arena in February of '97 who saw me and Devon hit our first 3D inductus. Sounds crazy, but I think it would be cool. But since it's hashtag WWE Hall of Fame, I think it would make sense for either Heyman, Edge, and Christian, or both Hardys. The Hardy Brothers. As you remember, the TLC matches that they have had over the years in WWE. John Cena apparently appeared on the Today Show, and now the show is running a contest where you can enter to win a chance to have Cena crash your high school dance. Okay. Teeny boppers can enter a contest. Today, host Kathy Lee Gifford, Hoda Kotb, I don't watch the show, so I hope I can pronounce the name, KOTB, and Cena made the announcement while promoting his new film, Cockblockers, which is based around how parents and teens react to their proms. Cena thought the contest was a good way to marry the two projects. Full details on how to submit a video can be found at this link. Also on a related note, Cena also announced a new children's book with Penguin Random House he is working on called Elbow Grease. The book is available for pre-order now. The synopsis is reads here. Meet Elbow Grease, a little monster truck with a big problem. He's smaller than his four brothers, but he wants to prove that he has the guts and the grit to do big things. He decides that entering the Demolition Derby is the perfect way to show everyone what he lacks in horsepower, he makes up for in gumption. From multi-talented mega celebrity John Cena comes this exciting story about the importance of believing in yourself and never giving up. Full high-octane illustrations and a new character kids will cheer for. This fun and fast-paced book proves that little elbow grease can go a long way. Also, more on Cena. On Twitter, as SoCal Uncensored, a TV production company, is looking for the biggest John Cena superfans in Los Angeles. Arena for new stories. I'll show you a picture of that as well. There was a second dark match before Friday's NXT tapings at Center Stage in Atlanta featuring Adam Cole going over Cesar Bonani in a singles action. Cole opened the match with a mic and introduced Cesar as the 2017 NXT Future Star of the Year. Then tried to recruit him into the Undisputed Era. Cole then attacked Bonani while he was looking in Undisputed Era t-shirt over. Cesar turned it around and attacked while Cole saw Adam Cole was gloating, but the numbers game eventually caught up. Thanks to NXT Tag Team Champions Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Then Cole hit the Shining Wizard to the back of the head for the win. Dark match before SmackDown in Kansas City. Missouri saw Becky Lynch defeat Natalya. SmackDown opened up with from Kansas City with Tom Phillips welcoming us to the show. Joined in by Byron Sexton and Corey Slimeball Graves. Tom hypes tonight's show. We'll go to the ring and Greg Hamilton to introduce SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. Shane says normally he would be ecstatic about tonight's main event, but he's not because of the epic implications. He talks about how Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens will go on to compete for the WWE title against AJ Styles at Fastlane. Shane and Sami or Owens don't deserve another opportunity. Shane introduces SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan. How do you come to a pop? I'm gonna go back to the Corey Graves comment that I just said. I call him a sandball because he avoids the front from on Twitter with Booker T as well and calls it a snobby. If he's blaming me, then he sticks his nose up in the air. It's kind of like he's ignoring it. Shane says no. Okay, go back to. Okay, Shane talked about how SmackDown is a land of opportunity and how they listen to fans each week. Shane says he called Brian to the ring because he doesn't think Brian is listening. Fans start a chant for Rusev Day. Shane says he doesn't think Brian is listening because he keeps giving the same two superstars opportunities. Shane believes the fans want to see someone else go for the WWE title, and they agree. Brian says the referee has made a mistake at the Royal Rumble, and he's just trying to turn a negative into a positive, which is why he made tonight's huge main event. Brian thought Shane would give him a well-deserved pay raise. Shane tells him not to get carried away as fans do the Borgasm Yes chants. Shane then says he's looking forward to seeing Sammy and Owens rip each other apart. And what bothers him is Brian rewarding them once again. Shane says it's very difficult for him to understand why Brian keeps giving Owens and Sammy title shots. Shane says this is emotional for him, but Brian has changed WWE forever with the Yes movement. And while he's had a similar career path as Owens and Sammy, they aren't Brian. Shane says that the Yep movement is a cheap imitation of the greatest thing Brian ever created. Shane doesn't want Brian to allow Sammy and Owens to manipulate him any longer. Shane knows Brian feels for Sammy and Owens, and Shane knows more than anything Brian wants to compete in the ring. But what he's doing, Brian interrupts Shane and tells him to hold on. Brian asks what exactly is it that he's doing. Shane says it's plain to see to everyone. Brian is living vicariously through Owens and Sammy. Fans boo Shane's comments. Shane says it breaks his heart. The music interrupts and out comes WWE Champion AJ Styles. Fan chat for AJ as he takes the mic. AJ talks about the grind that comes with the WWE and says he can deal with that because he was built for it. But he can't take what he can't take is SmackDown officials obsessing over Sammy and Owens. And he's not just talking about Brian. He's talking about Shane too. AJ says every time they make a decision based on Sammy or Owens, it affects him. AJ says this is the house that he built and he needs them to do him a favor. Stay out of the way tonight. AJ says he can create his own destiny and control his own luck. And he will walk out of WrestleMania still the WWE champion. AJ's music hits as he leaves as the blue brand bosses look on. We see New Day backstage with a bunch of pancakes. They're interacting with fans on Twitter all during the show. I think they're doing a question and answer. So the come segment, Rusev versus U.S. Champion Bobby Roode with a title on the line, plus SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan non-title action. We got a commercial including mixed match challenge promos for tonight's two teams, Goldust and Mandy Rose, Naomi and SmackDown Tag Team Champions Jimmy Uso. Back for the break, AJ Styles stops walking backstage when he sees Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura simply declares that he will defeat Styles at WrestleMania 34. Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair was up. Next, as we go to the ring, out comes the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riott. We see what happened last week to set this matchup. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte was out next for the title match. Bell rings and Flair goes right to work, taking Liv to the corner and unloading. Referee tries to back Flair off, but she keeps at it. Right in front of Riott and Logan, they pull Liv to safety, but Flair stays right on top of Liv, and they go to the floor. Flair stares down Logan and Riott, causing them to back off and to go to commercial. Outside the ring, of course. Back from the break, Liv keeps control, beating Flair around, talking trash. Well, the stream that I call has a commercial on one and the show on another, split screen. Of course, it's from overseas. Flair finally makes a comeback, drops Liv with a big boot. Flair steps on Liv and goes to the top for a moonsault, but Liv yanks her back to the mat by her leg. Both are down as we go to replays. Liv keeps control for a 2 count in the corner. Liv keeps Flair grounded. More back and forth. After Flair fights up and out, Flair with a neck breaker and a spear. Logan gets on the apron and talks trash, but Flair spears her to the floor. Ruby pulls Liv to safety on the floor. The referee ejects Ruby and Logan from ringside. Flair runs up, dropping Liv after avoiding a cheap shot. Flair applies a figure 8, and Liv taps for the finish. After the match, Flair stood tall and raises the title as the music hits. Flair goes to the announce table and says, "That's 1 down, 2 to go." Flair walks to the back, stops to laugh at Liv, who was trying to recover on the floor. Tom leads us to a Black History Month video with superstars visiting the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. Same one that they did on Raw. Mark Henry and Roman Reigns. Back from the break, and we see Renee Young approaching Kevin Owens backstage, asking if his friendship with Sami can survive tonight's main event. Owens says, for once, Renee has a good question, but she's asking the wrong person because it's up to Sami, and if he can handle losing to Owens. Well, next up we got Bludgeon Brothers versus Enhancement Talents. We go to the ring. Out comes Rowan Harper and Bludgeon Brothers. 2 Enhancement Talents are waiting in the ring. The bell rings and Harper immediately nails a dropkick on one of the jobbers. Harper with another big power move. He stares the other guy down, scaring him off the apron. Rowan ends up running over the other guy on the floor. Rowan rolls the guy into the ring with the legal man, who is getting beat down by Harper. Rowan tags in and destroys both opponents, and they hit his assisted running power bomb on one guy before sending him out to the floor. The other jobber takes a double crucifix bomb for the easy win. After the match, Rowan and Harper stood tall as we go to replays. We come back and they're headed to the back, but the music interrupts and out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. The 2 teams face off for a second at the bottom of the ramp. Usos keep walking and enter the ring as the Bludgeon Brothers head to the back. Tom says the Usos are about to lay down their street code. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Usos are in the ring with microphones. Last week, they let us know about this day one-ish, and this week they're here to let us know what it means to be locked down. They're not talking about being fingerprinted, sleeping on a slab of concrete, being on a chain gang, or any other prison-related conditions. Well, 2 weeks ago, he was busted for under the influence of alcohol. They're talking about a state of mind. They go on about how a lot of cats out there are hungry for success and thirsty to be in the spotlight. They say 2017 was a turnaround for the Usos. It was their come up when they went from the they might be all right to they were in the match of the night. They go on talking trash and end it with, it's not paranoia, it's Usos. Usos drop the mics and leave as the music hits. We go backstage to SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan for the reveal of the first SmackDown Top 10 list, which Bryan and SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon will use to make decisions and plan matches. Bryan says the list was compiled by the roster and they cannot vote for themselves. He also says he and Shane had no input. Bryan announces the list is like this. Number 10, Ty Dillinger. How significant was that? As he's the perfect 10. Number 9, Randy Orton. Number 8, Becky Lynch. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. That's 2 people. Number 6, The New Day. That's 3 people. Number 5, the United States Champion, Bobby Roode. Number 4, Naomi. Number 3, Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 2, SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. And of course, your number 1, WWE Champion, AJ Styles. And now to talk about the list, and we see the New Day backstage. Big E controls Xavier Woods for the 6th place ranking. And he shoves pancakes in his mouth. We get a Twitter video from Aiden English and Rusev to promote WWE United States title match. Back to commercial. And of course, he's singing. My version's better than his. Rusev versus Bobby Roode. We go to the ring. Out comes Aiden English with a song for the next match. He introduces Rusev Day, who gets a big pop and a Rusev Day chant from the crowd. And out comes next is the U.S. champion Bobby Roode to a pop. Of course, he's in his white robe. The glorious music. And we get formal ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. They lock up at the fans of the Rusev Day chant. They go to the corner. Rusev breaks, but shows off some. Roode does the same, takes it to the corner, and backs off before showing off some himself. They lock up again, and Rusev takes Roode down to the mat. Roode turns it around, and they trade holds on the mat. Pretty good, decent match so far. Counter for counter. Rusev with a quick 1 count, more back and forth between the two again. Rusev then drops Roode with a big shoulder. Rusev stands tall for another Rusev Day chant as we go back to commercial. Split screen again, of course. Back to the break, Roode ends up hitting a blockbuster for a 2 count. Roode launches himself at Rusev, but Rusev catches him with a fall-away slam. Rusev can't get the pin, but he keeps control and works Roode around the ring. Rusev with a suplex for a 2 count. It's Aiden English looking on. Rusev keeps Roode grounded now. Rusev unloads on Roode with an elbow to the chest, kicking him grounded in a side headlock. Fans are dueling chants now. Roode fights up and out of the hold, rocking Rusev to rights. Roode then nails a flying forearm, delivers more offense. Roode with a splash in the corner and a neck breaker. Roode then goes up top, hits a flying clothesline. Roode stands tall as fans pop. English tries to get involved for a second, which leads Rusev to connecting with a big super kick for a close 2 count. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Roode's back in control. Rusev avoids the glorious EDT and counters himself. Roode counters Rusev and nails a big spine buster in the middle of the ring for a 2 count. And that's normally the setup for his finish. Rusev ends up tossing Roode across the ring and super kicking him again. Rusev stomps on Roode's back, goes for an accolade, but Roode rolls him up for a 2 count. Schoolboy roll up. Rusev countered a glorious EDT with a roll up for himself. They trade counters again, and Roode nails the glorious DDT out of nowhere for the pinfall. A quick DDT. After the match, Roode to a tall with the title as we go to replays. We see English checking on Rusev as Roode's celebration continues. Randy Orton hits the ring and drops Roode with an RKO out of nowhere, and fans go wild. Orton drops English with an RKO next. Orton gets hyped up and poses for the crowd. Nothing more than that. Rusev stumbles to his feet, but Orton drops him in with a 3rd RKO as we go to replays as Orton stands tall. Go to come segment. Best friends battle in the main event for the WWE title shot at Fastlane. And we go backstage to Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, who take shots at other blue brand tag teams that they have photos on a board, similar to the Fashion Files. They're here to bring prestige back to the division, but they can't believe how these clowns are in the division with them. And the clowns they show are the Ascension. Last week, they targeted and took out Breezango. This week, they're going after the Ascension as they're wearing makeup. They invite everyone to come watch the carnage. Back to commercial. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus the Ascension. Back for the break, out comes Shelton and Chad while the Ascension waits in the ring. Shelton starts off with smacks Connor in the middle of the ring. Connor fights back and drops Shelton. Byron Saxon acknowledges Connor's birthday is today. Connor keeps control, but Shelton stuns him. Gable comes in and backs off the apron as Connor goes after him. Gable ends up taking out Connor's leg as Victor comes in as the referee is distracted by Shelton. Shelton keeps control and covers for a 2 count on Connor. Gable tags back in and double team Connor to take both knees out. Gable Gable focuses on one of the knees now. Gable keeps control, but stops to talk trash to Victor. Gable turns around to a big flapjack for Connor. Victor gets a hot tag and unloaded on Gable. Victor with more offense and a close 2 count as the pin is broken. Shelton and Connor go at it as they come in. Shelton with a spine buster to Connor. Victor sends Shelton to the floor. Gable comes from behind and takes Connor to the corner after tagging in Shelton. They double team Victor and hit the big double team move out of the corner for the win. Shelton and Gable win. And they hit the corners, pose for the crowd. And now it's a show a Twitter reaction to the top 10 list. Renee Young approaches Sami Zayn for comments on tonight's main event. He says, tonight is his chance to step out of Kevin Owens' shadow. He goes on about Owens holding titles. Well, he hasn't. He goes on and says they are best friends, but even as best friends, he knows Owens will stop at nothing to get to WrestleMania. But so will Sami stop at nothing as he walks off. Number 1 contenders match, Sami versus Kevin. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Sami makes his way to the ring. That's commercial. Back for the break. We get AJ Styles out for commentary. The winner of this match will face Styles in the main event of the Fastlane pay-per-view. Kevin Owens was out next. The bell rings and they size each other up with a bit of stalling. They trade holds early on and go back to the ropes a few times. Referee has them break. Owens shoves Sami just a bit against the ropes. They run the ropes and Owens drops Sami with a shoulder. They run the ropes again and Sami takes Owens down twice. Sami keeps Owens down by his arm for a second, but Owens gets to his feet and it gets the ropes. Sami delivers a slap that doesn't look like it sits well with Owens. They lock up and Owens delivers a similar shot to Sami. They have some words as Sami takes Owens down. Owens scrambles to the floor for a breather, arguing with Sami. Owens returns to the apron and wants Sami to back off while he comes in. Owens comes in, but Sami tackles him and mounts him. Owens goes back to the floor and comes right back to the apron, but Sami knocks him off to the floor. Sami stands tall in the ring as we go back to commercial. Back for the break. Split screen. They're going at it still. Owens gets the upper hand and drops Sami with a big lariat, but they're both down in the middle of the ring now. Sami comes back with a super kick and a neck breaker for a 2 count. Owens goes for the corner cannonball, but Sami blocks him with an exploder attempt. Owens counters, but Sami ends up hitting a big tornado DDT out of the corner for a 2 count. Sami then takes Owens up for a superplex, but it's blocked. Owens knocks Sami to the mat. Owens goes for a big senton, but Sami gets his knees up and Owens lands bad. Owens goes to the floor. Sami also goes to the floor and runs for the big DDT through the ropes at the corner, dropping Owens on the floor for a big pop. Fan chant, this is awesome now. Sami brings it back into the ring and then waits for the haluva kick. Owens shuts it down with a big super kick. And then Owens goes back up top, hits a frog splash on Sami for a 2 count. Owens yelling at Sami to stay down because he's the one that wins the titles. Sami fights back. Sami blocks the pop-up power bomb, drops Owens on his head, and hits the blue thunder bomb, but Owens manages to kick out of it too. Sami can't believe it. Owens rolls to the floor for a breather. Sami follows and talks some trash to AJ. AJ tells Sami to finish the match, but Sami keeps running his mouth at AJ's face. Styles has had enough of Sami. He decks Sami and then decks Owens. Referee calls for the bell for the disqualification or no contest. After the bell, AJ beats Sami into the ring and knocks him back out. AJ stands tall, but Owens comes from behind and grabs him. AJ also takes Owens and sends him to the floor. AJ launches himself over the top rope, taking Sami and Owens both down on the floor. AJ returns to the ring and yells about how he wanted a winner. SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan comes out and announces that it will now be a triple threat at Fastlane due to the match. And outside of interference, it will be Sami versus Owens versus Styles again. Bryan's music hits as AJ isn't happy in the ring. Owens and Sami talk at ringside as we go to replay. We see AJ yelling and holding the title as Owens backs up on the stage and Sami backs up on the ramp away from Owens. We get more replays. AJ lays the title down in the middle of the ring and stands tall as SmackDown goes off the air. Well, they go out of the ordinary and do the mixed match challenge match. An announce team welcomes us to the show for your Facebook watch program. And I don't think I got this week's video link for you. But anyways, Usos and Naomi make their entrance to solid responses. Jimmy and Naomi are fairly adorable, actually. Goldie and Mandy make their entrance, and Goldust goes old school and captures a little footage of his partner. They cover which charities the teams are competing for. Special guest referee for tonight's match is a ponytail Daniel Bryan, as voted by the fans. Ponytail Daniel Bryan? Jimmy Uso and Naomi versus Goldust and Mandy Rose. Gold Rose or something like that. Or Rose Gold. Match starts with, I think Jimmy and Naomi call it Uso Penitentiary. Match starts with a little dance with the Usos. Whip exchange leads to Goldust blowing up and asking for a quick timeout to catch his breath. After reclaiming his win, he does a trademark bark-like deal. Mandy then calls him over, and he gives her a kiss on the hand that says, "That's what teams do." Usos match their sentiments and then elevate it to hugs. Next step is a kiss, and Goldie checks his breath. He leans in, but Uso tries to roll him up. Daniel Bryan doesn't like the tactics and doesn't count the pin. Naomi tags in, which means Mandy joins in as well. Twerking is now a move after Mandy touches Naomi's hair and gets on her bad side. Mandy reverses and hits a face buster bomb, then goes to work on Naomi with a choke, with a boot in the corner to a kick to the kidney. Mandy gloats a bit and goes for a kiss, which gives Naomi time to catch her breath and kick Mandy in the midsection. Upon return, Naomi goes for a tag, but Mandy intercepts and slaps Jimmy for good measure. Tag made, and Jimmy comes in like the house on fire. Samoan drop, a booty to the corner, but Mandy breaks up the pin. Insecurities in stereo by the Usos, reversed by in stereo power slams. Pin broken up, Mandy slaps Naomi, and the chase is on. Goldust shields Mandy, but Naomi slingshots over the top rope, over Goldie, and hits the crossbody on Mandy. Uso tries to follow suit, but meets the right hand. Uso hits a super kick. Naomi nails the rear view. And then the frog splash finishes it off. Ready for the match? Jimmy Uso and Naomi. After the match, the other husband and wife team, Lana and Rusev, come down to introduce themselves. They say that they're best couples team in the tournament. They teach us a new song with Lana is the best. Lana number 1, which mildly catches on with the crowd. They'll take on Elias and Bayley next week, who weren't exactly seeing eye to eye in their backstage promo. Week 4 Mixed Match Challenge on Naomi and SmackDown Tag Team Champion Jimmy Uso defeat Goldust and Mandy to advance in the tournament. Uso and wife Naomi will now face Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman in Week 8 matchup. Next Tuesday's Week 5 matchup will feature Rusev and Lana versus Elias and Bayley. This week's live viewership peaked around 77,000 viewers at the end of the match. Last week's match saw Strowman and Bliss defeat Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch, which only peaked at 62,400, while the premiere picked up 135,600 live viewers. Yeah, where's the roller coaster? Well, we got 205 live. Well, WWE says next Tuesday, #Raw, I am Elias WWE and at It's Bailey WWE on Twitter versus #SmackDown Lives at Rusev Bulg and at Lana WWE on #WWE MMC exclusively on Facebook Watch. Recap last week, 205 Live General Manager Drake Maverick also said Cedric Alexander and TJP winning their first round matches. Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness welcomes us in and preview Kalisto versus Lince Dorado and Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong. Kalisto versus Lince Dorado was the first round tournament match. Handshake gets us started. Tons of flips, stereo drop kicks, and kip ups. Kalisto with a Hurricane Rana descends Dorado to the floor. Quick suicide.